there, my name is Diane West, and I'm going to be teaching you how to create your own truth cards. Just to give you a little bit of information about myself, I was widowed in 2010 after a long, really hard cancer battle, and that first year was rough. I was searching everywhere online for something to offer me, being a 59-year-old who was living alone for the very first time in her life. I ended up finding Widowed Village, which is one of the programs of Soaring Spirits, and that led me to Camp Widow and Soaring Spirits, and I've not looked back since then. I've been to every camp that we've had. I volunteer. I'm in charge of the volunteers that help us out at camp, and I also host a local regional group here in the Las Vegas area. Along at that same time when I was doing all that searching, I was looking for something creative, some way that I could use my hands to help me to heal. And I found Brave Girls Club. Now, unfortunately, Brave Girls Club doesn't exist any longer. However, Melody Ross, who was one of the co-founders of Brave Girls, is still active, and she is available on melodyross.com, where you can see some of the things. Her sister, Kathy, who also was involved, she now has a business called Haven Place, and they are offering all sorts of wonderful free things here during this time. So I will have some information about both those links in the paperwork. There is a document that goes along with this class. You'll find it in the document center. It has some words, some phrases, some things that you can look over, and if something speaks to you, you just cut it out, set it off to the side, and there's also a few little colorful graphics that can also be used, and I'll explain a little bit more about those here in just a moment. So, what are truth cards? So, truth cards started out as being something that, so often we tend to believe lies. We look at things and we are telling ourselves we're not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not young enough. I mean, all of those negative things that we do to ourselves, they can kind of possess us. And so this class is to help you to recognize all of the really wonderful things that you do offer this world. And especially right now, with us being social distancing, where we're not able to interact with others, there are a lot of things that you can do. You can make these cards for yourself. You can make them for your kids or your spouse or your boyfriend or whoever. You can make them for a neighbor. Now, granted, we're not allowed to go see our neighbors right now, but the mailmen, I think, are still delivering. At least mine was today. Or you can just, you can always, what I had planned on doing was going up to the neighbor's house, sliding it, into the door, ringing the doorbell, and then walking away. And it gives them just this little surprise. I've also left truth cards like this in grocery stores. Back when they had actual groceries on the shelves, I would slide them in between the cans and have them be just kind of a happy surprise for somebody. So there's some good stuff for you to work on in this, but there's also some opportunity for you to do some good stuff for some other people too, and that tends to make you feel good. So what kind of supplies do you need? Well, when I took this class initially, we were given supplies. We were given these printouts. We were given these cards that are, I'm not sure exactly what this is. It's like a real hard, it's cardboard, but it's a real thick, it doesn't bend very much. And these are really, really quite nice. But you don't have to have these kind of things. What you can do is, do you have it? Oh, I have another thing around here, but now I don't have it with me. You can use a deck of cards. If you've got an old deck of cards around, you can take that. What I ended up doing is Amazon has blank cards, and so I ordered a box. I forget how many, 500 or so in there, and they're just feel like a regular plain deck card, and you can choose to just put your words and your phrases on that card, without covering it. So you've got the white background, and you can put them on both sides. This one says, "You can start over today. You are a survivor. You can do this." And on the back, it just says, "Take good care of your heart." But you can also, and what have I done with those? you can also create, and now I've lost my card. Oh, there they are. You can make them colorful. So you can put some colorful scrapbook paper on the back of it and then put your words across. And there again, this was all done just with a glue stick. Initially, we used Mod Podge, which is, if you haven't used it, I don't know how to explain. It's like an Elmer's glue type stuff, but not really. I'm not even sure what it's made out of, but it works really well when you're wanting to do some collaging, when you're putting papers down. It holds things really well. A problem with it is that sometimes it gets sticky. After it's been around a while, it gets a little bit sticky, and they'll if you've got things sitting on top of one another, they may stick together. You can take just a plain white candle and rub over it, and that will help it. But it's kind of messy. You end up with Mod Podge all over your fingers, and you're peeling it off. Glue sticks work just as well. That's not a problem whatsoever. And so you probably, if you've got kids at home, you probably have these. This one here is just a little stronger one. They both work. Both of them are just fine. So you've got cards. I had them around here somewhere, but I'm not seeing them. Flashcards. You can get those at like the dollar store. You can get the flashcards that are that larger size. Use those the same way as you would use the deck of cards. If cards are not your thing, if you don't want that, you can create your truths and put them in a journal. These are a couple of journals I had left over from a retreat that I did. I tend to like journals, so I've got quite a few of them. So these are things where they're just, some are just lined. You can journal and put your truth cards all right in there on the papers. If you're looking for something where you don't have scrapbook paper, do you happen to have any napkins around? Because napkins can be used as a background. If you're not using them for toilet paper, because everybody's hoarding the toilet paper and there's none on the shelves anymore. But if you've got some really colorful stuff that you're not going to be using, this is a great way where you can just take this and you can glue it right down, however you want, glue it right down, and then just snip around it, and you've got yourself a nice colorful background. Another thing that you can do is when you're going through magazines, perhaps there's a magazine that's got a picture, just some nice colors. I don't see, of course, I'm not finding one as I'm just flipping through here. But you're liking the colors on a particular page, and you think, oh, well, that'll work. I mean, even something like this. Here you've got the sky and the ocean, so you could cut out a piece here, and that would work. Or, as I did in this one, where you don't need the whole picture, you can just take pieces and just to add color. These I just happen to rip around just to give a little bit of color. So magazines will also give you some words. There's great words to be able to pull out of there and be able to use these on your truth cards. So I don't throw away any of my magazines. I use them for truth cards. I use them in my soul books. I use them on my vision boards. So magazines are always a good thing to have handy. Also, if you happen to have any of these these have some good stuff in them too, where there's some good colorful pictures of things that you can put in. So that's another one to hold on to. Also, if you've got stickers, do your kids have stickers around? Alphabet stickers, maybe stickers of fun little things. Those can be put on your truth cards too. You also may want to just grab some pictures of yourself. And you can turn around and put those on a card so that you're actually writing some message to yourself and put that right on there. I sometimes, when I'm just sitting around, I will just go through and just start cutting out words or things that I like out of magazines, and I just keep a little baggie and I just stuff them in there. So then when I'm wanting to do some work, I'm able to grab that and put it all together. So to give you an idea of just how simple and easy this is, let's go ahead and I'll just grab a piece of paper here. but I happen to have some scrapbook paper, and I'll just do a cut around, and that, and this. So now I've got it covered. So I just need to use my trusty little glue stick here. I should have put down a piece of paper here so that I'm not getting Jim's workbench all messed up here, but I'll clean it off. He won't know. And so then you just glue that piece of paper right on top. So now you've got a nice little piece to work from. So then it's just a matter of some of the words that are on the sheets. It's addressed to you. You may also, what we did in my first class was we would do a whole sheet that it would say, Dear Diane, or whatever your name is. You would have that so you could be writing to yourself. If you've got a printer at home where you're able to do that, and you can also come up with some words and phrases of your own. So your life is meant to be something more beautiful than you could dream. When we're first widowed, that's not something that we would really agree with. Depending on how far out you are, you may be to a point where you're going to say, I need to be reminded of that I still have a good life to live, and it's coming to me. I may not be ready for it right now, but it's coming. And so maybe that's a good one for you to have. Or it's okay to be afraid. Just do not let it paralyze you. You do not need to put so much pressure on yourself. Everything will be good again. It will. You will laugh again. You'll be whole again. So there's those kind of phrases in here. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of those pages with all sorts of things for you to choose from. So what I would recommend that you do is to just work your way through. Read each and every one of these things, and as you're reading them, the ones that speak to you, just grab your scissors, cut it out, and set it off to the side. So then when you're ready to actually do your card, all you have to do is glue it in place. You just slide it right in there, glue it in place, and you can do different things with it. And like in here, you'll see this, I cut up each individual word. Don't know why. I just decided that was what I was going to do. So, and put it in there. So, you can do this. And so I also used a little black pen and went around it. Don't have to do that. That was just something that I chose to do. It does make things stand out a little bit more. You can see it on here. I did not do that. But then on the back side, I did. So it does show it up a little bit. Now, if you've got kids that are working with you and you don't want them using pens and things, I don't think there's any reason why you can't use crayons. Don't ask me why I don't have the real Crayolas, because I'm a crayon person, but this was the box I found when I was digging through my stash. But your kids could take the crayons and actually, oh goodness, I haven't even opened this little guy up. They can take the crayons and they could actually color on the plain cards and do that. So that gives them an option to be doing something right along with you as you're doing the work. The cards are nice to have. They're nice to give. They're nice to keep in your purse as a nice little surprise for yourself when you're digging through the purse. As I said previously, they're really nice to be able to give to other people. So I hope you'll give it a try. It's surprising how good it can make you feel as you're going through there and you're just reinforcing some of these special things that you need to be reminded of. And I think I have covered everything. I think that's it. So I hope you enjoy this and that you'll give it a try. I'm going to have my email address in there. So if you have questions, if you need anything beyond this, you can certainly reach me. Thanks very much.